Triple Option Crystal Ball. It is brought to you by our great friends at BetMGM. BetMGM is giving you the chance to win a prize every day during the baseball season. Step into that batter's box for BetMGM's Swing for the Fences free-to-play game. Visit BetMGM app to access the game, and you'll score a prize if you hit a single, double, triple, or a home run. All right, so last week, Coach, we looked at your Gators. Today, we're going to stay in the great state of Florida, head a little bit further south, and talk about the U, Mark. All right, an early peek at the Miami Hurricanes. We talked about Miami a little bit earlier in the show. Right now, BetMGM has their regular season win total set at 9.5. They've always got the hook. It's never, have you noticed that, Mark? It's never just a flat number.
Of course.
There's always got to be a decimal point there to mess with you. So
gotta have that
9.5. You can get the over at plus 135. The under at minus 160. These lines is always subject to change. Last season.
So the under is the favorite. And I'm going with the favorite. Minus.
Okay, so you think it's going to be 9 or less. Let's talk last season real fast. They finished the regular season 10-2. They went to the Great Pop-Tarts Bowl in Orlando and
your favorite
lost
Frosty
to Iowa State. I love the Pop-Tarts Bowl. What they've done with that bowl game is so amazing. I actually have in my garage like a Halloween costume of a Pop-Tart that they gave me. It's still, I'm like, at some point I'm going to use this in my life. I don't know when or who in my family, but it might get used. Halloween would work for it. All right, so last season, lost at Georgia Tech, lost at Syracuse, no ranked wins. Again, the big story, Miami no longer with Cam Ward at quarterback. He went number 1 overall. The story with Miami, who they do now have at quarterback, is Carson Beck, who they brought in through the transfer portal. Let's take a look at their schedule real quick. And oh boy, it gets going right off the bat. They are home for the first 4 games, 2 of them to schools from the Sunshine State, but it starts with Notre Dame. So Miami
3
taking
of the 4,
on Notre
4
Dame.
to 5. Wow.
L
to
Notre Dame, W Bethune, W South Florida, L to Florida.
Oh, wow. A 2-2 start.
Yes.
Okay, then at Florida State.
Win.
Dub.
Win. Louisville.
Win.
Stanford.
Win.
Win. At SMU.
L.
Okay. Syracuse.
Win.
Revenge tour. Syracuse win. 6. North Carolina State.
Win.
7. At Va-Tech.
Win.
8. At Pittsburgh late in the season. That's 9.
Yep.
So they didn't hit it.
Under.
Yeah, 9.5 was the magic
Lost the leading
number.
passer, lost the leading rusher, lost the leading receiver.
It's a lot of losses.
Tackler, added Carson Beck, a lot of holes to fill.
No Clemson on that schedule, though, by the way.
Clemson.
No Clemson.
I don't care how you put it. I got 9 wins or less. I'm going with the under. So I'll take that minus. What the minus was again? I'll put,
I'll scroll up.
9.5, right?
Yeah, it's 9.5 is the magic number.
So interesting. They have all the first 5 games are in the state of Florida. You might have said that already, Rob. And that's deep south. You're in Miami. So Notre Dame, that's a tough trip for the Irish. I was at Notre Dame for many years, and
it is going to be hot.
You got to. I think what they'll probably do is
the heat.
you put them in the indoor arena and then just turn up to 95 degrees with humidity.
Yeah, like you can't doing hot yoga.
You can't
hot yoga
that.
for football.
You can't simulate that.
I forgot about that. It's in September. They're going to die out there.
No, it's going to be August. And that's awful.
August. It's still going to be ugly. Ooh.
But Florida State. Here's the issue I have with the ACC. I just don't know. There used to be arguments that was one of the top conferences. They've been down. There was a day when you had Florida State, Louisville, Virginia Tech, and NC State, Miami. Think about those were top 10 programs at one point. They're not right now. They're not. And so I don't know enough about those that conference. But I think those Vegas dudes, man, they're unbelievable. I sit and stare at that, and I see 9.5.
Right?
I stare right at that, like at most of them. I say
an impossible number to reach, but yeah, I bet they finish with 9.5.
You can see 10, but you can see 9 too. So which one
so
do you
much
want?
is like Pitt. We say Pitt's a W. Pitt's got a good coach, man. I mean, you got North Carolina State. Those are rugged games.
Virginia Tech,
we know the
NC
Syracuse
State,
coach. That guy's
SMU,
a nut job, man. He's a fiery guy. Fran Brown,
Florida
he's
State.
a hell of a
coming
coach.
back. Like
so. Yeah,
I
like
at
9.
SMU, at Virginia Tech when Enter Sandman's blasting.
I don't know. Is Carson Beck the guy though?
That's the big question.
I see 3 losses in that game somewhere. I don't know where you put them. It might not be Notre Dame. It might not be Pitt. I see 3 losses within that schedule somewhere.
Mark,
Carson Beck turned that ball over all the time.
Yeah, Mark, are you a Carson Beck believer or
Carson Beck? Let's go back to a year ago. We're talking about him being the #1 quarterback in the draft.
Right.
Let's go back a year ago. We're talking about him being the #1 quarterback in the draft coming up in the one that just passed.
Right.
So I'm like, is the potential there? Yes.
Sure.
Now, potential is just exactly that. Potential.
Just a word.
Yeah.
If they lose 2 of the first 4, no.
Trouble.
If they're
And he doesn't have the same weapons that he had at Georgia. So
don't
I
count
don't
out
know.
Louisville, man. They got a good coach too.
Yeah, I think the ACC is going to surprise some folks, whether it's this year or next year, over the next 3 to 5 years.
I got 9
think
wins,
they're
don't
going
I?
to start.
I got
think
the
they're going
under.
to start working
Where the
their way
crystal
back
ball
up
at?
there.
I got 9 wins. The crystal ball says